This is Josh Hunter, presently in the city of Santa Monica, California. Um, so I want to specifically address this feeling, which I think is going to be very noticeable soon enough, I guess. There's an attitude, and let's just say let's not refer to any particular topic, but just, okay, so let's say that there's a behavior that a person doesn't like. So I just want to have this phrased so I can understand it in what, to me anyways, its purest form. The belief is, there is this activity or behavior that I don't like, and I don't like when other people do it. But when I do it, it's okay. Okay? So, another way to say it is, when someone else does it, it's bad. When I do it, it's good. This is the attitude that we're dealing with. I believe it is hypocrisy incarnate, and I've seen this across the board in very many situations, and so I once more am trying to keep myself in a calm state of mind. So I was sitting at Ocean Boulevard, and I think it was Santa Monica? Broadway? I don't know, wherever that, right across the street from Meat. It's a restaurant called Meat. And there's an outlet there that I sometimes use to charge. Or I just found it yesterday, actually. And since I found it, 5 or 6 people came up to me and tried to say, oh, can I charge there? Can I charge there? Can I charge there? And it's really annoying. And so just now this guy came up to me, wearing lots of jewelry, a lot of flashy stuff. And he's saying, can I charge there? And I'm saying, you don't want to charge here. And he's, I guess he didn't pick up on the hint. And I tried to tell him, perhaps you'd want to go charge somewhere else. I didn't say this exactly, but I believe that this is what I was communicating. And he didn't seem to get it. And I said, if you continue to charge here, you're going to get robbed. And he replied to me, he's like, well, if you something, then you're going to get shot in the face or whatever. Or you're going to get someone shot in the face. And I'm like, okay. And I go through this all the time. You got to realize I'm living in a Groundhog Day situation. Okay, I'm not experiencing a lot of new things. It's the same things happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. When you come up to me and say oh, it's going to be like this, it isn't. It is not. Human beings, you guys, and when I say you guys, I'm not including myself in this situation because, I don't get treated like a human being. So why would I put myself in the same category? You guys have chosen not to think. You've chosen to make sure that the cigarette company still lives on. You've chosen to drive electric scooters without helmets. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand why I keep talking about not wearing helmets when you drive electric scooters? Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't care about your brain. You don't care about the safety of your physical body. It only takes one car accident for you to be paralyzed for life. Only one. And none of you guys are wearing helmets. What does that tell me? Think about it. Let's say I'm someone, okay, who's responsible for supplying the earth with money. Okay, all the things that you want, all your opportunities, all the things that you say that you want and you need. Okay, but you got to prove to me that you care about your life. You got to prove to me that your personal life matters to you. And I see you going day to day to day, riding electric scooters without helmets. You know there are bad drivers. You know there are drunk drivers. And you take the risk every time. If I'm in a position to give you things, what do you think that's going to tell me? Do you think that I'll believe that my time isn't going to be wasted in investing in you? Do you understand? Okay, I don't put myself in the same category as most people. I say you guys because it's plain as day to me. And the fact that I have to say this is absurd. And sometimes Like this, when I'm talking to people, there's this thing that'll happen. Like, and it seems to be like everyone seems to be like an absentee person to me. And I'll be talking to someone, and then they'll say something, and it's like I can tell they're not thinking. And usually, what they'll say is what I'm about to watch. Like if I'll be watching, like all I do is watch TV and video games, and watch TV, play video games, and drink beers. Like that's my life. And apparently, that's a very difficult thing to believe. And people will come up to me and they'll have a conversation, and I can tell that they're not thinking. They'll say a bunch of things, like they're thinking and having a conversation, and then after they've interrupted me, then I'll see what they were saying on whatever I was watching. So right now I was watching the movie Patriot Games with Harrison Ford, right? And so this guy has. Anyway, typically what happens is I'll be watching something. Somebody will say something to me, and whatever they're saying is whatever I'm about to watch, whatever I'm about to do. It's like they're literally interrupting. It's like a stream of energy, and they just like get in the way. And I don't like this. Like it happens so often, and I guess some part of me thinks that my anger is going to solve it. My anger doesn't solve it. My peace doesn't solve it. Like what is going to solve this? I'm assuming that when the president becomes a different president, that things will be different. That's my assumption. That a lot of this is simply the result of people. There are differences when Democrats have the White House versus when Republicans have the White House. The people act differently, but a lot of these people aren't thinking. They're so immersed in their own feelings that they don't have any. There's no real instruction. It's just okay. You know, these songs make me feel a certain way, and they're just going on the motivation that they get from the songs. But they're not thinking. There's not conscious activity. That's why I don't like music. I don't listen to music. Like, I don't listen to a lot of music, and even when I do, I'm very careful and I'm very cautious. Okay, you can put a subliminal message in anything, just about. And I don't know. Like, yeah, all right, whatever. You know, I thought that people would have a sense. Nobody has a sense. And that's the thing, that like nobody has a sense. Like they're not. And I guess maybe it's not something that you would sense. It's a conclusion that you'd have to come to through thinking. Only through thinking, and comprehending a situation through real efforts. It can't come through guessing. It can't come through, your psychic stuff. It can't come through, your gut feeling. Like none of those things are going to be good enough. Like even just mathematics alone isn't good enough. It has to be the sum total of your efforts to absolutely understand, correctly understand a situation. And like, this is like the third time, like somebody asked me to move yesterday or a couple of days ago, and then like a woman died like right here. Like literally like maybe 100 feet from where I stood. This is the third time that this has happened that I can see. Like every time someone asks me to move or they try to get in my way, somebody dies. And I'm saying, get me off the fucking streets. I'm saying, give me a sign, give me something that I can fucking put up and say, if you move me, somebody will die. It might be someone that you know, someone who's close to you. But I guess if it happens 3 times, that must still be speculation, right? I must still be like some fucking narcissist, right? Kobe Bryant, Chadwick Boseman, and yesterday I believe it was a 102-year-old lady. So you might say, well, she was 102 years old. She was probably going to die anyway. And what about the other 2? Maybe they were going to die anyway. I would just like to see like that people care about their lives. Like I guess maybe I'm not reading things correctly. I mean, obviously there are people who do wear helmets when they ride electric scooters. There's probably about maybe 2% of the people who ride electric scooters. And I'm basing this solely upon what I see in Santa Monica. And I'm assuming because nearly every type of person from every country in the world passes through Santa Monica. I'm assuming that I'm getting like a good data set. And the cigarettes, obviously, tobacco is not like hurting. Big tobacco is not like, oh, how are we gonna pay next month's rent? These are indicators. Okay, if I had a screen, all right, these are indicators of what the people of Earth feel like, what they're willing to do, and what makes sense to them. The fact that tobacco companies are still around means that human beings who live on the Earth thinks that the tobacco industry makes sense. They don't find it absurd. They don't find it absurd. Okay? Like if I was walking down the street, and no, let's say I was on a roof, okay, and let's say I stole like 1,000 babies, like 1,000 newborn babies, and I was just like kicking them off the roof. And I was just kicking them off the roof. And 1,000 babies, I just kept kicking them off the roof. A lot of people would find that absurd. They would say, sir, that's like a bad idea and you shouldn't do that. It's disrespectful. Those babies aren't yours and you definitely shouldn't be kicking them. So what do you think is going on when you smoke a cigarette? Except slower. When you smoke a cigarette, you have to realize there are millions of people smoking a cigarette at the same time as you. Do you fucking understand? 1 million people smoking cigarettes at the same time. You say, oh dude, it's just one cigarette, whatever, secondhand, who cares? It's a sum total of people. It's like killing a group of people. A group of people all agree on one thing, and that is death. Anyone who's smoking a cigarette, that is millions of people who agree that death should occur. They agree about dying. They agree with death. And you say you want to live and you want free healthcare. Liars. Liars. You know, I'm not like a Republican, okay? I'm not like someone who's like, oh. But this argument for free healthcare, I remember when that was going on. I mean, like the more serious part of it. And I didn't really get involved in it, but these people were really getting upset. They're like, we deserve free healthcare. Okay, so what are you doing about the tobacco company? What are you doing about cigarettes? Last year, there was a brand new respiratory virus that was related to vaping. It was some mysterious illness. Does anyone remember that? You guys look like a bunch of fucking idiots. Where did the coronavirus come from? Why do people keep dying? We're in this together. Hey guys, let's stop it. Let's stop doing this. We don't, you courage. Have courage. We're gonna make it through this, guys. Yeah, just be tough. We're gonna get through this, guys. We'll help each other. We'll console each other. Yeah, the coronavirus isn't gonna get us down. Like, you guys... I sometimes wish that I fucking had a spaceship. That I could fucking, like, project my face into the night sky and laugh at all of you. Like, just, like, keep on laughing. And, like, that would be my fucking curse. Just laughing at you all the time. And you could never escape my fucking laughter. I'm 34 years old, and I've got the best grades. Oh.